I'm Dr. T.
And I'm Kristin.
And this is Change Your Thinking, Change Your Life.
We're here this week talking to you about corporate wellness. Last month we just finished Employee Wellbeing Month. And it's interesting because we just started a corporate wellness initiative with the Florida Spine Institute. So we were talking about that a little bit today. And, I was telling Dr. Torres some of the difficulties we've been facing getting the corporate wellness involvement, getting the involvement that we had kind of hoped for. And doing some research, we realized that this is a nationwide issue, not necessarily just with us. And, it got us talking about corporate wellness and wellness in the workplace.
Exactly, and we want to share this with you because maybe you have some ideas that we can get from you. But the problem that we have faced is engagement. How do you engage these people? I think that you can approach them as prevention of disease, treatment of disease. It really doesn't matter. Just address their particular issues they have. And I think the standard is you administer a health questionnaire, and then you kind of identify the patient or the employee has hypertension, diabetes, or other issues, overweight, and then we have to kind of monitor that. We can give them some assessment, the blood pressure measurement, the A1C, but at the end of the day, we have to give them tools. But at the same time, the tools are there and they don't use them, they're useless. And then so that's the trick. And a lot of people think that by giving the employees incentive like prices and money is going to be productive, but at the end of that, it can backfire. People get very reactive to that.
Yeah.
The human behavior is very erratic. Mm-hmm. So sometimes what you think is going to work doesn't work. Like people trying to quit smoking because we scare them they're going to have lung cancer. Well, that doesn't work. We know. You have to come from internal motivation. And then doing some brainstorming here, you and I today, that maybe what we need to address is what is their issue when they go to work. And I think what I see there is their stress. How do they deal with difficult clients or patients? So I think that maybe by approaching the needs based on that, then we can introduce, now if you sleep better the night before, if you eat better, if you're not high sugar, then you're not going to react that you're not going to be that emotional.
You're not going to be that
reactive. So I think those are ways of trying to figure out how to incentivize and get people involved. But like we were talking about, the main thing is the management has to be involved. And that is another issue. How do you engage the management? Do you make it mandatory for the management to be part of it or not? And it's like when you go to a doctor, if they're telling you to lose weight and the doctor is overweight, mm-hmm. It's not going to have any power. He's going to say, you take care of it. I don't know if you agree.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just really, it's been a challenge trying to get an understanding of how to provide those needs and also, what exactly is going to drive and motivate that person to want to change. Even though all of the resources are there, the participation isn't. So, we started kind of researching a bit more, and you don't want to bribe somebody to change their lifestyle or, set up a false gratification. This doesn't just affect big companies, it affects small companies, family-owned businesses, it affects everybody, because if your employees are unhealthy, if your coworkers are unhealthy, your work environment is unhealthy, that's going to run off into your business no matter how much you try and separate the two. And, like Dr. Torres was saying about lack of sleep or poor diet, we both know that nobody is happy after a poor night's sleep. And if you're trying to deal with a customer service issue or you're trying to deal with something in your business, you might be a lot more reactive and a lot more frustrated and short fused, Absolutely. They call it. So, that affects your workplace. So we want to try and figure out ways that we can improve the wellness in the workplace.
Also, there are programs that they offer you apps to follow them, to interact online. But again, you have to be internally motivated to do those. If you don't care about them, you feel like it doesn't really apply to you, then you're not going to follow through, and then we're not going to see the results. And I think that also we want to make sure that the employees don't see that we're trying to do this to save money. Yeah. Because again, it's like when people are trying to sell a corporate wellness to the main corporation and say, oh, you can save all this money if you do this. No, it's really to offer this like your family, that you want your family to have a good time. I think that, again, the other thing I was thinking is that when employees are doing something for a cause, like a charity, I think everybody's more into it. And directly they're benefiting, but they're doing it for somebody else. So maybe that's the other approach, to incentivize based on that we're going to raise awareness or money or for other charities. Yeah. And I think that one of the things that may work will be that, to have a purpose. I think also the concept is that you need to take care of yourself before you can take care of somebody else. Yeah. And people think that that's selfish, that no, I have to take care of this and that. I think people understand that you have to take care of yourself in order to be strong and healthy to help your family, your friends, and everybody around you. So we were brainstorming about how do we make this wellness program, corporate wellness program, successful. And I think Kristin and I, we were talking about, I think we need to engage both the management and the employees at the same time and present to them in a seminar, how do they become leaders within their own world. Mm-hmm. It could be at in a work, in their own department. It could be at home with their kids, their family. It could be at church. It could be a local community. So how do we give them the tools? And I think that's where we include that you need to, there's a common denominator, no matter what level you are, that includes the exercise, nutrition, the meditation, and the mentality. And I learned this from my mentor, Robin Sharma, that he has a full course after he wrote this book about leading without a title. And the whole principle is that we all can lead, and we don't need to be called that we are a leader or a manager.
Absolutely, yeah. I think that's a really important concept for us to really focus this on. Is you can be your own leader, and everybody is in charge in some way of something. And to be more effective at that something, obviously there's certain factors that are going to add to that and take away from that, like exercise, sleep, and nutrition. I think that's the most important concept for us to get out of this picture. So that's what we're going to be focusing on.
And it's funny because, if you analyze your life, when I started, I never had dogs in my life, pets, and then when I took my son's dog, I had to become the alpha dog. So I had to learn, how do I lead my dog, that I thought that letting her being wild was good. No, so I learned tools and ways, and now it's amazing how, she appreciates that. So I think that we can do that if we're energized, if we're exercising, if we have a good nutrition, we're going to be more successful in doing that.
Absolutely. Well, thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of Change Your Thinking, Change Your Life. If you have any comments or suggestions for us regarding this video, you can put them in the comment section below, or you can message us on Facebook. And we'll be back next week to talk to you about another awesome subject. So stay tuned, and we'll see you next week.
Bye, guys.